I'll be showing you 5 ways of organizing kids' toys just in time for the busy holiday season. By the end of this episode, you'll have the tools you need to get organized before the potential new haul of toys coming in soon. In addition, applying what you learn and take away from this episode, you will be placed in the best spot for the next step.
Parenthood is challenging enough as it is, and getting organized sounds easier said than done. Now, combine these two together, and it's truly a balancing act that many of us struggle with day in, day out. If you're here, it's because you want to know how to get your life and home more organized and structured where the kids are involved too, so that parent life is a little easier and you can focus on what truly matters. Hey there, I'm Diane Jimenez, owner and founder of One Tidy Place. I created this podcast because I know parents have their hands full. I know this because I have 3 kids of my own. Each week, we'll talk about all things organizing, teaching kids life skills, and contributing to the home, being on the same page with your partner, and raising your kids together while you tidy up, go out for a walk, or just need some real talk. I'm here for you. Thank you for tuning in. Are you ready? Let's do this.
Hey there, welcome to another episode of the Organized-ish Parent Podcast. As you know, this weekend is when it all starts. The discounts, big sales, BOGO, or buy one, get one free, slashed prices, etc. I always look at it as the start of the holiday season. I know many people have already started as early as July or even August. For the majority of people, especially here in this part of the globe, it's when it all starts. Holiday shopping season. And it's what inspired today's episode. Now, speaking of which, because the holidays are just a few short weeks away and shopping season officially starts, in my opinion, this weekend, there's a high chance for more things coming into our homes. More specifically, those items being toys for kids. So today I'll be covering the different ways of organizing kids' toys so as to minimize or avoid the overwhelm and chaos this potential influx has on many parents. Now, if you're not one to buy toys because your kids' toys are already taking over the house, this episode is for you too. In fact, this episode is for the whole family, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, extended family members, everyone. But just so you know, this episode doesn't just apply for the holidays. It's for any occasion where toys will be coming into your home. So text this link of this episode now to family members who you believe should listen to this. The link is dianejimenez.com/59. Hi, if you're new here, welcome. Hello, my name is Diane. I'm a professional organizer and a mom of 3. I help you get organized amidst the chaos that comes with parenthood, as well as guide you in getting your family to help out at home. Welcome to the Organized-ish Parent Podcast. Okay, so for the next few minutes, I'll be showing you 5 ways of organizing kids' toys just in time for the busy holiday season. By the end of this episode, you'll have the tools you need to get organized before the potential new haul of toys coming in soon. In addition, applying what you learn and take away from this episode, you will be placed in the best spot for the next step, which I'll talk more about later on. Just keep listening. So let's begin. If you search the internet, Pinterest, YouTube, and other sites that you go to, you'll find many ways of organizing kids' toys. So let's cut down to the 5 main ways of organizing kids' toys to help you get started and give you some direction. Here they are: by category or by type, by age, by what they can play with on their own versus needing supervision, by favorites, and finally, a combination of at least 2 of these ways. So first, we're going to start with organizing kids' toys by category or by type. Why organize this way? Well, this is typically a way of organizing kids' toys. It's a good way to set you up if you want to eventually declutter, but more on that later on. The pros about this method are easy to find specific toys and easy to put away, especially if bins are labeled. The best storage for this type is by using something to keep these categories and these types separated, like bins, baskets, or containers that come in plastic or in different materials, in different sizes too, and opacity. Now, in regards to the cons when organizing kids' toys this way, well, there really isn't one because it's what us pro organizers do. I'm biased, what can I say? Next, we've got organizing kids' toys by age. This method is the best when you have kids of different ages. For example, I had a client where she has, at the time, 2 kids, a toddler and one in grade school. And she was also expecting her third a few months later. She called me one day to help her with organizing her kids' toys because, and I quote, "I'm drowning in toys, Diane." So in her case, we separated the toys by age because her kids played in different spaces in the house. The toddler was more in the main room where she was working and where she stayed usually, and the older one, who wanted more independence, played in a nook on another level, but still nearby. So there are pros and cons to this setup. The positive about this is each kid can play with their own things. Cleaning up is straightforward as long as the people tidying up know the difference between the toys, meaning they know which toy belongs to which age group. So the thing here is, if no one knows or the person doesn't know the difference between these toys and their age category, well, then everything will just get mixed up. And that's a downside of organizing kids' toys this way. In addition, if the locations are separated, then it's just a bigger mess because now you will have to reorganize everything and the toys end up being everywhere. And you're a lot worse than when you started. And even more so now, you have to start all over and it's frustrating. Also, if you don't have a bigger house or you don't have a lot of space, you're going to literally feel like you're drowning in toys. So this isn't my favorite option, but for some families, it works. The third way of organizing kids' toys is by what they can play with independently versus the one where they need a little more support or supervision. So what do I mean by this about where they need to be supervised? As a parent who's not a fan of cleaning more than she needs to, well, these would be anything to do with paints, arts and crafts, sticky, gooey stuff, sparkles and sprinkles, all those things. It's basically anything that would require some sort of supervision before it gets really out of hand. The thing is, you'll not only need to tidy up after they're finished playing with everything, but you'll probably need to do a deep clean through of the whole place also. Now, this isn't the only type of plaything that requires supervision. There are board games or toys with like 1,000 pieces. As tempting as it is to leave the kids alone and let them do their own thing here, it's asking for a headache later on. So you have to be present as much as possible. Now, there are 2 benefits here. Like I mentioned, toys and playthings that need more supervision prevents potential big messes and chaos. Number 2, if it's board games or arts and crafts, it also gives you the opportunity for quality family time here because it involves you. And it's not just for the cleaning part. Go on and get your hands dirty and get your creative side going. The kids love it when we play with them, right? All right, let's move on to the next way of organizing kids' toys, which is by favorites. So this basically entails placing toys the kids are currently playing with front and center. Now, well, not really front and center because that's kind of in the way, but placed at their eye level and easy to grab from the shelf or a cubby system. These toys are usually the toys and games they play with most often and located in the area where they hang out a lot. The rest can be stored away in another area of the house which can be difficult, especially if you really don't have the storage space, let alone storing extra toys. So placing the non-favorites higher up or in a closed bin near the toys is a solution for that. So organizing kids' toys by favorites allows kids to focus on one thing at a time versus having everything out there in the open, because that's a lot to process. And that can lead to overwhelm and them not really playing with anything. The great part about organizing kids' toys this way is that it limits the number of toys spread out all over the house, which means less time spent processing everything and getting distracted from all the other toys. So the time and energy saved from all of that leaves room for imagination and really playing with that one toy. For you, this is great because organizing kids' toys by favorites allows for toys to be rotated and enables you to introduce a new set of toys after a certain time, like when the toys wear out or when the kids have aged out from them, or just rotating every month or so, for instance. Doing this makes you look like an awesome parent because who doesn't love new toys? This would also be the perfect opportunity to declutter, out with the old and worn out, leaving your home with more space. This method is a win-win for you. Now, the final way to organize kids' toys is doing a combination of at least two of these methods. For example, organizing by category, where the toys that are most played with are closer to the kids' waist level and the arts and crafts, for instance, are in a smaller bin inside a closet and closed doors. With this way of organizing, labeling bins and containers would help a ton, especially for cleanup. So if you want to encourage tidying up on their own, placing labels that they can understand instantly is a huge game changer. Okay, now that you know the 5 ways of organizing kids' toys, especially with the potential influx or new haul coming in very, very soon, you're in a great spot. Remember at the very beginning of this episode, I mentioned that after listening to today's show, you'll be in the best spot for the next step. Well, that next step is honing in on your toy organization even more. How? By signing up for my new course, Tame the Toy Chaos, Reclaim Your Space with an Organized Play Area. This training is split into 4 bite-sized videos where I guide you and tell you exactly what to do every step of the way so that your kids' toys are no longer taking over the entire house, where cleaning up will be quick and easy and can be done by anyone and everyone. So if you took anything away from this episode, this course is a definite next step. So sign up today at dianejimenez.com/Tame the Toy Chaos, all in one word, and snag that Black Friday special. I link everything in today's show notes, but sign up now. All right, my friend, thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.